Gold prices are closely correlated to the value of other investments like currencies and commodities, but the price level is manipulated and not fair, according to our next guest from our next organization. Chris Powell is Secretary and Treasurer of the Gold Antitrust Action Committee, or GATA, which has alleged and litigates against alleged collusion in the pricing of gold. Chris, welcome to Hong Kong. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm very familiar with your organization. You know, Bill Murphy and I have talked, many times in the past decade about, where GATA lies and where the central banks and how culpable they are. Here we've got gold, a good, 350, 400 off its peaks in recent history. Is the collusion and the manipulation getting better, or is it getting worse?
Oh, I think it's as steady as ever, Bernie. We collect the evidence, even the proof of central bank surreptitious intervention in the markets, and we've come up with a fair amount of it even in the last few months, including a brochure that was distributed by the Bank for International Settlements to prospective central bank members several years ago. It advertises the BIS's services secretly intervening in the gold market. That brochure is posted at our internet site.
Can you explain to, there may be many people out there in the audience who don't understand what the rationale is, for manipulating and artificially suppressing the price of gold. Why would anybody want to do that? I mean, central banks hold gold, so wouldn't they want the value of that to be as high as possible?
Well, because gold is the reciprocal of their currencies, Bernie. They issue far more currency than they hold gold. There's much academic literature on this subject. Some of it was written by Lawrence Summers, who was then economics professor at Harvard, who became U.S. Treasury Secretary. There is a historic relationship between the price of gold and the real interest rate level and the value of government bonds. Central banks are interested in supporting their government bonds. They're interested in keeping interest rates low if they can, certainly right now. The academic studies have shown that there is really a causal relationship between the price of gold and real interest rates.
Okay, Chris, let me bring in Arjuna, our guest host. Arjuna, say hi, Chris.
Yeah, hi, Chris. India is the biggest or one of the largest importers of physical gold. How do you see the Indian trading establishment in terms of the sort of cartelization? Do they have a big impact?
Well, certainly the Reserve Bank of India is always bludgeoning the people of India out of investing in gold. They're doing it right now. They raise taxes on gold. They urge people to turn in their gold for certificates, and there's some reason for that, because they see this great pool of wealth held in India that they don't think is invested productively. What they don't acknowledge is the people of India don't like the rupee as a currency. They trust gold. They don't trust the rupee. If the Indian government wants their people to invest more in rupee-denominated investments, they ought to take care of the rupee.
Okay, Chris. It's interesting that throughout all the years, and you good folks at GATA have been very passionate about making your cause known. A number of Federal Reserve chairmen dating back some generations, Arthur Burns, Volcker, Alan Greenspan, have been documented as acknowledging so much as that there has been manipulation of gold. And last year was a telling year, wasn't it? You won a Freedom of Information court case in Washington, D.C. But I guess my broader question is, what is this going to lead to? I mean, what is the end result going to be? Because you can be trying to hammer this message home, but
we try to persuade investors, Bernie, that if they're purchasing gold, they better get real gold, metal. They should not get paper gold and keep it within the banking system. There's a huge naked short position in gold around the world. My estimate is perhaps 75–80% of the gold the world thinks it owns doesn't exist. It's just a claim on a bullion bank that is underwritten basically by central banks.
I mean, it's seeable, tangible.
Yeah, if it's not in your hand, or if it's not in an allocated account in a vault that's outside the banking system, you probably don't really own gold.
Do you think we're ever going to get to that point where we get collective admissions by central banks around the world that they have been colluding and the price is going to go up? Because I think Bill told me last time I talked to him that the real market value of gold should be somewhere like $4,000 or $5,000 US at that time.
Well, I don't really make predictions, Bernie, but I do wonder what the value of the price of gold will be if the world ever discovers that 80% of the gold it thinks it owns doesn't exist. There may not be enough zeros in the world to put behind the gold price then, but as long as people are ready to accept pieces of paper that say gold, and central banks are ready to backstop and rescue bullion banks that are suppressing the price with naked short positions, then the gold price suppression and the control of the currency market by the United States can go on forever.
Chris, great talking to you, okay?
Thank you
for your time.